Hi and welcome to another episode of Riemann Studio Tricks. This time with the Behringer Monopoly and a Techno sequence. The synth is running through the blues driver from Boss and it is sequenced by the Korg SQ1 sequencer. Let me quickly explain you how I set this up. Let's go oscillator by oscillator. I'm in unison mode, so the sequence is playing all four oscillators. That's the first oscillator in Sawtooth mode and on the lower octave. So the first two oscillators are on the lower octave and the other one on a higher octave, one octave up. Let's bring in the second oscillator. It's on pulse width modulation. I give it a little bit less volume because otherwise it would be too dominant. The pulse width modulation comes from this section. It's very fast and with a medium intensity. The third oscillator is on square wave with pulse width. You can set the pulse width here and one octave up, and you can see a little bit detuned. The second oscillator is a little bit tuned up and the third one a little bit tuned down. Okay, let's bring in the fourth oscillator, which is a triangle. I give it full volume because the triangle is a bit has less overtones and gives a bit more bass in this case, even though it's higher. So it just fits better on this octave. If you build a sound, I would recommend just try around a little bit and make the balance right, because you can do a lot with volume already here. And this rough character of the sound comes a little bit from the noise, but just a little bit. It comes mainly from the effects section, which is a modulation section actually. Let's switch it off and it will become much more melodic. In a live situation, when you play live in a club, it's cool to switch it on and off. Like you have a section which is a bit more melodic, and if you go down with the filter, you activate it, and you got a rougher techno sound. And you see I use it just a little bit in sync mode and in single. Let me show it to you a bit more intense. Yeah, that's a nice effect in the club. If you want to go to a Climax, but I would leave it there when it's running. And I also connected the modulation generator 1 in this mode. So the oscillator 1 modulates oscillator 2. So if I turned it up, more frequency modulation between those two oscillators is going on. Like, I would turn that up, come to a climax, put out the beat in the track, and shorten the release time of the voltage controlled amplifier. Make it really percussive. Add some noise maybe. And add that modulation. It becomes really crazy and percussive. And now bring in the kick again. You can go even more crazy with the resonance on the filter. Keyboard tracking tracks the notes, and the higher the note is, the higher the filter will go. That's nice when the resonance is high. Okay, let's reduce this modulation, and the melody comes forward. And again, without the modulation. Okay, I hope you liked this video. If you want to have techno sequences recorded in real high quality, check out the free sample pack in the description. And if you want to receive videos like this on a weekly basis, consider subscribing to the channel. See you next week.